Your brain would rather see you broke and safe than wealthy and uncomfortable. And here's the worst part. It isn't weakness, it's pure biology. Your amygdala is doing exactly what it was designed to do 200,000 years ago. Keep you alive. Not rich, alive. If you want to keep hoarding information you never apply, close this video right now. But if you want to know why your brain sabotages you every time you try to progress, if you want to understand the mechanism keeping you stuck, stay. There is a metric that separates the savers from the spenders, the executors from the planners, the rich from the poor. It's called hyperbolic discounting. But that's not the name that should worry you. What should worry you is that you didn't know you had this. What should worry you is that your own brain is playing against you, and you're allowing it because you can't see it. When you visualize your success, when you imagine having money, when you daydream about the life you want, your brain releases dopamine as if you had already achieved it. You feel accomplished, you feel rich, you feel like a winner. Your body releases the exact same chemicals it would if you had actually executed, without you having moved a single finger. That's the problem. Your brain just rewarded you for nothing. And now, when it's time to work for the real reward, your brain has lost the incentive. Why work if I already got the prize? You are addicted to the simulation of success. You've become a fantasy junkie. You spend hours imagining how it would be, visualizing, planning, dreaming. And that feels so good that your brain no longer wants reality. Reality hurts. Reality requires effort. Reality involves rejection. In your mind, two versions of you are fighting a constant civil war. The night self, the one lying in bed with grand plans, imagining being a millionaire, feeling the thrill of success as if it's already here. He feels powerful, he feels ready, he feels invincible. But then comes the morning self, the one who has to pay the real price of effort, the one who has to leave the warmth of the bed, the one who has to make uncomfortable calls, the one who has to face rejection. And this version says no. Do you know why? Because to your present self, the version of you 10 years from now is a stranger, an unknown person, a ghost from the future. You don't feel his pain. You don't feel his hunger. You don't feel his regret when he looks back and sees he wasted a decade. You are sacrificing a stranger's life so your present self can eat a pizza. You are stealing his freedom. It's the perfect crime. You're robbing yourself and you can't even see it. Now listen to me. I know a guy who makes $300,000 a year, a guy who built wealth. And I know a guy who has spent 5 years studying how to do it. 5 years watching videos, reading books, attending webinars. The first guy has an average education. The second guy is a genius. Who do you think is poorer? The one who executed even though he wasn't ready. The mediocre man who did versus the intelligent man who waited for perfection. The intelligent man died a genius. The mediocre man dies rich. Your logic is the reason you're stuck. 90% of the people watching this will be in the exact same spot in 5 years. Not because they're stupid, but because their brains say, tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, the brain says, tomorrow again. In 5 years, you'll be watching this same video, wondering why you did nothing. Be honest with yourself right now. How long have you been in this loop? 1 year? 2? 5? 10? I promise you, what you just heard is not new to you. Your brain knows all of this. Your brain understands the mechanism. What your brain does not know how to do is break this cycle on its own. It can't. Your brain is hardwired to maintain the status quo. It is designed for survival, not transformation. You need an external disruptor, something from outside your own head, something to tell your amygdala to shut up, something to automate what your willpower cannot sustain. It exists. There is a link in the description, but before you click, listen to this. What you'll find there is not another motivational video. It is not another course. It is not more information. Your head is already saturated. What you'll find is the opposite. It is what your brain needs but doesn't know it needs. Look at it. You will see exactly why some people close their first client within 48 hours of doing this. Why others simply stop being spectators of their own lives. Why others double their income in 90 days. It's not because they're smarter than you. it's not because they're luckier. It's because they did something different, something that deactivates hyperbolic discounting, something that stops the present self from robbing the future self, something that silences the amygdala. There is a link in the description. Go. Finish this video, then go. But here is the most cynical part of all. Your brain knows you're doing it. It knows you're sabotaging yourself. It knows you're choosing comfort over freedom, and yet it does it anyway. Why? Because there is a mechanism that almost no one sees, that almost no one understands. You say you're preparing, that you're learning, that you need one more video, one more course, one more book to be truly ready. But that is a lie your brain sells you with such elegance that you almost believe it. While you study, you can't fail. While you plan, everything is perfect. While you visualize, there is no rejection. But at the exact moment you execute, the moment you expose yourself, the moment you pick up that phone, you face the possibility of being mediocre, of being rejected, of losing. And your brain prefers you to be a potential genius who never tried, rather than a real entrepreneur who failed on his first attempt. Because failure is death. Failure is the end of the identity you've built. And your brain prefers a life of comfort over the death of the ego. That knowledge you're hoarding is like fuel in a tank with the engine turned off. It's useless. In fact, it's rotting. It's turning into weight. Every book you don't apply is a burden of guilt. Every unfinished course is emotional baggage that stops you from trying again. Because if you don't apply this course, why bother with the next one? The guilt accumulates, the weight grows, and eventually, it paralyzes you completely. Poverty is predictable. Mediocrity is safe. Your brain is programmed for survival, not abundance, not wealth, not expansion. Survival. To your primitive mind, change is danger. If you stay where you are, at least you know you'll survive tomorrow. Your amygdala knows this territory. It has explored it. It knows it's safe. But if you try to be rich, if you try to expose yourself, if you try to invest, if you try to build something, you are entering unknown territory. You are hitting your amygdala's panic button. It's screaming. It's telling you to stop, that it's dangerous. That's why every time you get close to the edge of real change, your mind triggers self-sabotage. It creates a crisis. It gives you a sudden illness. It generates a distraction. It clouds your mind with sudden exhaustion. It's not bad luck. It's not a coincidence. It is your survival system defending itself against your desire to be different. It is your amygdala fighting to maintain the status quo. Success requires you to kill your current version. It requires you to abandon the identity of poverty. It requires you to die, and nobody wants to die. Your poor self is fighting for its life, and it's winning. How do you stop being the architect of your own ruin? How do you break this cycle that repeats every single day? How do you silence a voice that has been screaming for decades? It's not with more motivation. It's not with another inspirational video. It's not with one more book. It is through the violence of execution. It is the brutal act of ignoring the voice that says tomorrow. It is telling your amygdala to shut up. It is executing even though you are terrified. Now, at this moment, pick up that phone, open that app, write that email. Do what your mind has been forbidding you to do for months. Not in an hour. Now, in the next 5 minutes. If you don't do it in 5 minutes, you accept that you will die as a stagnant genius. That is your future. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until next week. Don't wait to have all the information. Execute. Now. With what you have. With what you know. With who you are. Perfection is the enemy of execution. And execution is the only path to money. Execution is what changes lives. Execution is what transforms the future self from a stranger into an ally. Look around you. Most people you know live in this cycle of constant self-betrayal. They talk about what they're going to do, about their plans for next year, about how things are going to change, about the person they are going to be. But their lives are an exact copy of last year. The same decisions, the same results, the same money, the same loneliness. Do you want to be just another statistic? Do you want to reach 70 years old and realize that the only obstacle between you and the life you dreamed of was yourself? You already have the knowledge. You've had it for years. What you lack is not information. What you lack is action. What you lack is the decency to keep the word you gave to yourself. That's it. Or accept that you will die as a stagnant genius.